Well, good afternoon. We're at part four. I believe that's what we're at, part four on the shed. So, if you remember, I had the trusses put on the ground out there. I just wanted to show you what I'm going to be doing next. I said that I like to connect these pieces up and then stand them up. That way, when I lift up the trusses and the columns, it's easier to tie them to the other one because they're already connected on one side. It's just a lot easier that way, I think. So what we need is 11447. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's actually 6 of them. And it tells you right there there's 6 of them. So that's what we're going to need for one truss is 6 of them. Now the interesting part, when you look at the picture, it shows it's almost like a little slant. So I have 1147 here, 11147. And just like the picture, it has a slant. Now, why does it have a slant? Because that part is going on the roof. So whichever side you're on the roof where it slants, that's where you go. And also, if you see, as I said before, we got all the holes in there. So that's the part the panels are going to connect onto the roof. So in the middle one where I said you have to undo the center pieces, basically going to go like this in the middle, and that's how your center beam is going to look if you were looking straight out. Now all the other ones are just going to be spread out one piece at a time. And I also said when you're screwing the screws in, like I say, for me, I just set it to number 1, the drill to number 1, because number 2 is a bit faster and it has a tendency to strip them out. So I just use number 1 on that. And then for the step here for the trusses, or for the beams for the trusses, you're going to be using basically nuts and screws. And you know, the nuts are fine. Takes a 3/8. So you're going to use a 3/8 wrench, or you could use a number 10 wrench if you want. It's not as good a fit with a number 10, but it will work if you're in a pinch. I actually have a number 10 here also. There's just a bit more play in a number 10. So that's the tools I'm going to have for this. Is going to be Phillips head screwdriver. I'm not going to be using the drill. I don't think. I'm just going to use a Phillips head screwdriver. That's how I'm going to do it. And I'm going to start to put these together. I'm going to pause this, and then you're going to see hopefully the end result, unless I just get too hot. Okay, I've got my bag of screws, my bag of nuts, and I got my Phillips head screwdriver, got my 3/8 drive, or my 3/8 wrench. Oh. And I got 12 of the 11447. These are just going to be the beams. And basically, they're going to tie into these pieces right here. There's 1, 2, we've got a double beam there, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's a total of 6. So I got 12 of them out here. And then I said, I couldn't figure it out because I actually had 2 other ones, and I couldn't figure out why I had 2 other ones. Because you know they don't give you extra parts. I think the 2 other ones are for the back piece that I haven't completed yet. Remember that back wall is a little bit different. So I think that's what those 2 pieces are. So I'm not going to have you watch me do all these cuss and everything else. So I'm just going to pause it. I'm going to put one in and you can see it. But basically what I'm going to do, I think I'll start with the middle one. And remember, the part with the holes go up, because that's what you're going to tie it into, like that. And you want the slant to go the same slant as the roof. So you're just going to follow that slant right there and that slant right there. You're just going to tie them in it's just a lot easier to do it here rather than when you're up in the air, because it's probably about maybe 8 feet. I know you saw my ladder set up. I'm going to fix that. So, anyways, so I'm going to get working and pause it. Maybe you'll see some progress. Okay, I got the first one in. You can see it's a center truss, so it has two beams. It's center beam, I meant. So it has two beams married back to back, and then they go with the roof line. So that's what I got right there. I'm going to put in the other beams. I'm going to put on the edge pieces, and then I'm going to do it on the other truss. So this could be a little while, but that's where we're at. Okay, I've got the 5 beams on. Just like magic, kind of just hit pause and it comes back on. So I got the 5 beams on. One interesting thing that happened, you know, this set comes with the bolts and the little nuts. So one of the nuts wasn't going on and I couldn't figure out why. And when I looked at it, there was no threads in the nut itself. So it's just a manufacturing error, so I just threw it out. That's all I could do. So you're gonna run into little issues like that. It's not a big deal. I mean, but speaking of that, also, there's painted hardware and unpainted hardware. For the frame assembly, you use the unpainted hardware. I know, you're probably thinking, well, why didn't you tell me that in tape 1? Well, I just didn't think I was going to be doing a video on this, to be honest with you. And if you read the directions, which I hope you did, it told you there's not enough painted parts, so you have to use unpainted hardware parts. So I'm saving my painted stuff for the outside for the panels. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to put the other side pieces on. I'm probably not going to get that other truss today, but we'll see. It's kind of hot here. But all right, when I pause like magic and I come back, some more stuff will be done. You see how they're swaying in the wind? Don't worry about it, because this is going to be sitting in here for a couple weeks. It's not a big deal. They can sway all they want. Like I say, if you had 2 people, you probably wouldn't have to do this the way I'm doing it, because you could just put it up there and then you could connect them up. But I'm only one person, so it's really, really hard to do this by yourself. So I've found I found ways to do it. Now I had my son-in-law. He did help me put the actual columns up, and then we tied in the trusses. But this made it a lot easier. So, all right, I'm going to get the parts that I'm going to be putting in next, and then I'll get back with you. Okay, I'm still on step 3B. So I'm on step 3B, which is page 24, and it tells you that you need 11159, 11163, and 11155. 11155 is the base plate. So obviously I'm not going to put that on because I've already just set it on the slab. And I am going to attach one section of 11163 and 11159. So basically 11159 goes here. You follow the roof line. You can see that there's holes here for the top of the roof, holes here for the side panel. So this will go on. And then this is that shelf that I showed you before that if you flip the tabs up, then flip them up on the other one. Don't swap them like I did. And the other funny thing about this thing is, since I've been putting it together, just because there's 2 holes doesn't mean you're going to use both of them. Now you will with this, but there's some parts on here that you only use 1 hole, and it tells you, or it just shows you a picture of only 1 hole. So that's where I'm at. So like I said, I'm on step 3B, and all I'm trying to do is make it so it's going to work for me. And basically this ties into these pieces. Hopefully you can see them. You can't see them. Oh, maybe you can see this one. Yeah. So it ties into this piece here. So you have one on this line, one on the other side, and then this will go just down the center of the column. There's 2 holes that it gets screwed into on the center of the column. All right, so I'm going to work my magic for you, because I don't want you to hear me cussing, so I'm going to pause this thing.